Plugin Quik-E video. Plugin
So what have we here? We have a cool plugin to share with you. This is Curve 2. And a lot of you might not have ever heard of Curve 2, but you need to know about it. My name's John Lemcool, John Skippy Lemcool. And this is Quik-E number 27. And I'm going to be introducing you to Cable Guy's Curve 2. Curve 2 is a 3-oscillator subtractive synthesizer with some tricks up its sleeve. No effects. That's why I was over here turning on the delay, and actually I wanted to, check this out, this is one sound where if you put Trash 2, which is a wonderful plugin. Yeah. So without effects, it's a little bit different vibe. Listen to that high-pass filter. It's wonderful. So before we get to this other stuff, real quickly, these videos are produced by my website, pluginguru.com. I make customized patches for all sorts of plugins. Here's a list of plugins that I have patches for. There's Omniverse, Malicious Synth, just really cool stuff. I'm really happy with how these libraries are all turning out. Get tons of happy customer email all the time. These videos show up right here under the Quik-E videos. Power reviews are more in-depth reviews. And a lot of people have been sending me notes asking on the RMX ones where the long versions of the videos are. Because at the time that I made these, YouTube only allowed for a 10-minute video to be put onto YouTube. So below each video on these pages, you'll see a download high-quality movie. That's for the high-definition, large 39 minutes. So for each one of these parts, for status part 1, 2A, not 2B or 2C, 3 and 4. So there you go. I want to make sure you guys know where to find those videos. Also, if you are in the spirit, please join the Plugin Guru Facebook page. And here is the Cable Guys website, where you can see they have a combo for all of their current plugins, which are all really useful. Earlier, I showed you actually MIDI Shaper in a previous Quik-E video doing real-time changing of the morph pad in FM8, which is, that kind of power is just awesome. So there's videos up here, there's news, all that kind of stuff. It's getting really great reviews, good responses, good feedback. So the Cable Guys contacted me and hired me to make some patches for this plugin. And I want to show you how things work. When you first download the demo or the full version of Curve 2, it comes with only so many patches. And one of the unique features with Curve 2 is the community/internet-based library. It has only so many pages of patches, but if I set this to say show everything, it now has 100 pages, thousands of patches. What you do is you have to hit the sync button right here, and that will have it checked to see if there's new patches, if there's new user profiles, all that stuff, so you get the graphics for everybody's pictures and all that kind of stuff. There's like 2,500 patches that will be downloaded when you first install this, and it takes it a long time. So be patient, let it go through its process. Just go get a coffee somewhere or something and come back. And they did a couple cool things here. One of the first things you'll notice is that there's these little medallions for the approved. This is the factory voicing. So if you want to hear the best of the patches, make sure you go over here and click approved first. And that way when you start playing the patches, they're patches that are pretty good. Some are really, really good. And you know, stuff like that. So say you come to this patch. Hey, who did this? And you want to see more patches by the specific programmer. Me. So you go over to your author, and if you say PLUG, these are the factory patches that I did. But if you turn off approved, there's actually a whole bunch more that are there. So when you go to filtering, that's one way to... Such fun patches. So it's 3 oscillators, but one of the cool things is when you go to the edit page, there's a unison mode, which can go up to 16 voices of unison. And there's detune, all sorts of parameters to get really huge sounds. So that's what we used a lot of times to get these types of... So when you say init, you have a sine wave. And what's cool with this interface is you can just start clicking and dragging, and it invites you to start making your own waveforms. And as you can hear, now the default envelope for V for volume is up and at 25 milliseconds. Bring that to 0, because usually you want nice fast attacks. In fact, the attack and the decay of curve is extremely fast. They're a little funky. I wish the envelopes were a little bit more clear and were more a little traditional, but I can live with it. At least the name's somewhat correct. So what makes curve unique is that there are 10 of these waveforms, right? And they can be used by clicking right here to choose which you want for each of the waveforms for the oscillators. But what makes it really unique is that all 4 LFOs over here, their wave shape is based on one of these envelopes. So if I go over here to 10, set this to be a quarter note, and let's say pulse. So now it's, and we go over here to LFO 1, and we look to the matrix to volume. Set this at 0, so it's just the LFO. And now I can draw this. And start making rhythmic stuff. If we go like this. They have some parameters here for the timing, snap waveform to grid. So now it's going to be a little bit more easier to get the timing right. One of the cool things with the volume shaper and so forth of these LFOs is that they can go really fast. So if you set it here to fixed, just retrigger. So you can make really cool harmonic noises and stuff like that. It has a full FM section, which you can use to great effect. Let's see. No, go away. It wants me to draw the waveform some more. So I've now got oscillator 2, which we can turn to on by choosing a waveform. Let's go to 10 and make it normal. They have these quick presets over here, just quick. And listen to some FM real quick. One thing that's really cool to do also is go to the factory patch for everybody. And let's just say synth lines, because this is the rhythmic stuff. So we say synth line. Some more tricky. Okay, so this looks interesting. Say we want to play with this for making a patch, right? Right over here is take a snapshot of the current waveform. Now you can say new, go to 10 and say paste, and boom. We have that wave shape, so I could send that to 10 and go over here to LFO1 for volume. And now you can start building from that. So you can go to 1, make it a brighter sound. One other trick I want to show you real quick. Let's say it's a sawtooth. I think you can hold down Option. Yeah, Control, and click, and it turns those parameters off. So it's the filter section is right here, and you have 6 dB, 12, and 24 dB. The 12 dB filter resonance is a trick we use quite often in programming to emphasize, because you set it to a real high frequency and then emphasize that high frequency. It's like high EQ. So when you have resonance fairly high and the cutoff fairly high, it's emphasizing the high end. And with the filters, I found that for the sawtooth to have more buzz, you can play with that, but you can find the sweet spot where it gives you the bright unison. So it's got a really cool sound. The interface is very different. But the thing that really draws me to this, and the reason I wanted to work on it, was the sounds. Let me show you real quickly the patches I did real quick. We heard this. We usually would assign the mod wheel to do something cool. I mean, listen to that attack. And the bottom. Here's pulsing life force. All sorts of stuff like that. Bells. Cool. And the high pass. It's great. Yeah. Play that all day. Then there's Angry Witch. You get the idea. Now, if you go into the wild ethers, there's, like I said, there's 100 pages of patches by a whole lot of people that you've never met before. But that's cool. It's really cool. There's all these patches. Also, say max rating. So you could say the minimum is 4 or more. Because as you're going through the patches, you can vote. You can click and say, I like that to be 5, and this one to be 4, and this one I didn't care for so much. And then when you hit sync, it will upload your votes to the website, and everybody's version of Curve will have those vote updates. So these are averages based on everybody voting. So you can say, show me 4 or more, and you'll get patches that are 38 pages of 4 or more votes from the community. And if you make a patch, and let's say we go save, and we say silly patch, and save it, check this out. In the library, at the end of all the patches, go to the very end. Where is it? Oh. Show all. Here's my patch. And it's shown like this. And right here, it's very important that you realize this because it will surprise you otherwise. If you do not change this, the patches you make will show up on the internet. You need to set it to 1 person on the page here before you hit sync. As soon as you hit sync, if it's set to 2 persons, it will upload those patches to the internet. There's no warning or anything. It just automatically, boom, now it's on the internet and now everybody else can play with that patch. So if you're working on an album and you're making patches, before you hit the sync button, make sure you go over and change all the patches you've written to be a single person. That way you have your privacy. I wish it was the other way around by default, but that's how it's set up. So I'm just giving you a heads up. So I highly recommend this. It's a really cool, unique sounding digital kind of synth, but the envelopes are fast. The filters are great. The fact that it's got 10 waveforms that you can create your own waveforms for both the LFOs and the oscillators. Not to mention the very cool matrix down here for editing and creating patches. And if there's 3 oscillators, as you can see, you have separate control over each of those 3 oscillators, their intensities. It's awesome. And control click will give you a default value back to 0. So that's how you work it. All right. Next week, I've got a really cool plugin to show you for removing reverb. It's just unbelievable. You'll be quite surprised. All right. That's about it. But I want to point out real quickly, if you don't have this, you can either download the demo version or you can buy the latest Computer Music Magazine. This month's issue has Curve 2 now installed from here on out. Installed this Curve 2 CM edition, which is a smaller version, a more lightweight version. All right, so here's Curve 2 CM. It's a simplified version of Curve, only 1 LFO instead of 4. And simplified, the EGs are here. There's just the volume and one of the EGs instead of 2 EGs. The two filters are together because that's really important for the sound. And it's a simplified matrix for modifying sounds because it's only 2 oscillators. So it's 2 oscillators instead of 3. I made patches for this as well. So they're different because it's a different machine. So I think there's 10 patches on mine in Curve 2CM. Something like that. All right. Well, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you get a chance to check out Curve 2. And I know you will like it if you do. All right. So I'll see you next week. Lots of cool stuff to show you. All right. So see ya. Bye.